Well, welcome everyone. Pastor Greg here with the Morning Manna podcast. We are working our way through Psalm 37, epic psalm, awesome psalm of David, where he's working through what his posture is in times of difficulty, where he's being attacked, accused falsely, and dealing with all the angst of that, the confusion of that, there's just great insights for us in it, for who will go through those kinds of chapters in our lives as well, where things just aren't fair. I mean, why is this happening to me? Why are these people coming against me? I mean, I'm not, you know what I mean? Those things happen in life, and they will happen to you. And if you're not sort of yielded to the work of the Spirit, you can easily get off track and, use the Old Testament, the Psalms would say, the arm of the flesh to try and fight back, versus yielding to the Spirit and realizing that this moment in your life, it's bigger than this little conflict that you're having. Actually, God is over it sovereignly. He's using it for your benefit ultimately. So there's a big concept in Psalm 37 that's been, showing itself on a number of occasions already, but it reappears again in verse 34. Wait for the Lord and keep his way. Wait for the Lord. So this idea is that not that we're waiting and doing nothing, but waiting for the Lord it's intentional. It's I'm looking for the Lord. I'm trusting in the Lord. I'm believing, knowing that he's going to work on my behalf. So I'm gonna wait on him, and I'm gonna refrain from launching out my own counteroffensive. I'm not going to go on the attack to try and counteract what this person is saying about me or those people are doing to me or whatever. I'm going to wait on the Lord. Lord, I trust you. Even as Jesus trusted the Father, when he was reviled, he didn't revile back. He waited on the Father, and he was faithful and obedient to the Father, which led to the cross, which led to the salvation of mankind. So waiting on the Lord is a huge concept. So to illustrate that, in Isaiah chapter 30, Hezekiah, the king of Israel, gets rebuked by the Lord. He says, in returning and in rest, you'll find your salvation. That's where it is. Returning to the Lord, resting in the Lord, trusting in the Lord. That's where you'll find salvation, but you would not. You fled to Egypt for your help. Egypt is a picture, a type of the world. It's a type of the world's resources. So God was essentially saying, Hezekiah, you, rather than trusting me and knowing that I'm going to handle things my way in my time, you got anxious and you leaned upon the flesh. You went to the world's resources and powers, the armies of Egypt, to try and secure their powers to get you out of your pickle. And whenever we do that, whenever we refuse to wait on God but venture out into our own resources, the world's resources, it's going to result in just things that we don't ultimately want to happen. We might get some immediate relief, but it's not a good long-term strategy, not at all. So waiting on the Lord, a hugely important concept for us to embrace and to live out. And then it goes on to say, for he will exalt you to inherit the land, and you will look on you when the wicked are cut off. So here's the long-term strategy, is that God has the big picture in mind. We get freaked out about our moment. It gets intense, and we're just freaked out. And so God says, listen, You're going to inherit the land. I'm going to bless you beyond your wildest imagination and dreams. But I've got the big story in view. Right now, you're in the moment. As one of my favorite bands, U2, would say, you're stuck in the moment. And we can be so tyrannized, bullied by the moment. So faith lifts us above the moment, lifts us up above the circumstance and into the heavenlies, where our life actually is. Colossians 3, our life is hidden with Christ in God. And so when we're lifted above, all of a sudden we begin to experience the peace that surpasses understanding, that's above circumstance. It's not tethered to circumstance. And now we can navigate the difficult circumstance because we know God's got this. He's got it. And the tyranny of our circumstance lessens, and we're able to move forward. Verse 36. Verse 35, sorry. I have seen a wicked man, ruthless man, spreading himself like a green laurel tree. So picture yourself, this boastful, like, man, I'm ruling the world. The cocky, arrogant person who's just spreading himself out. Living large, we might say in our common vernacular. But watch this, verse 36. But he passed away. And behold, he was no more. So think of all the people who prance upon the world stage and they flaunt their wealth and their fame and their, and all the stuff. And whoa, they're spreading themselves, through social media and all the rest, like this big giant tree. And behold, they're gone. They're dead. And they'll really not be remembered beyond a generation. So, verse 37, mark the blameless and behold the upright, for there is a future for the man of peace. So if I was to put this in, common terminology today, aim high. Who are you wanting to emulate? Look at people that are maybe a little ahead of you, that have maybe got a little more maturity and wisdom than you, and mark them, look at them, go for that. Let those people be your heroes and your examples, because that's gonna cause you to move forward in your life and in your walk with the Lord. And so that's the idea. But transgressors shall be altogether destroyed. The future of the wicked shall be cut off. So, it's such a stark reality that we shouldn't allow what we see with our eyes and all the prancing and parading, the pride, the arrogance of the wicked to get us to envy them. That's so ridiculous when you think about it. They shall be cut up. They will become nothing. And so it's all one big, show that results in a big fat zero, a big fat goose egg at the end of the story. But God's people, on the other hand, will be the ones who will be exalted. Verse 39, the salvation of the righteous is from the Lord, and he is their stronghold in the time of trouble. That's where you run to, like the coney in Israel, the kind of a rabbit-like creature who has no defense in and of himself. And so his only defense against the various creatures that would want to devour it is to hide in the cleft of the rock. The coney will just crawl into a crevice in the cliffs, and that badger, that wolf or whatever, can't get to it. And that little coney, safe as anything, got peace, hidden in the rock. I envision him sticking out his tongue at his enemies. Nah, 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 nah. But that's the way it is for the people of God. The Lord is our stronghold. Impenetrable. Finally, verse 40. The Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in him. So there it is. I mean, great final kind of an exclamation point. God delivers those who take refuge in him. So whatever your situation, and it might be, you might be in a, financial predicament, health thing, relational conflict, people slandering you, whatever it is, take refuge in the Lord. That's the key. He's the cleft of the rock. Hide in him. He's got you. He really does. And so learn how to rest in him and wait for him. God bless you guys.